Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dan Whitehead and welcome to my channel. Just doing a quick video about the Fujifilm X-Pro2. Just to briefly let you know, I'm using the camera to film this video, so I can't physically hold it and show you, but I can still feel like I can talk about it and give you a good idea of what this camera is all about. So I rented this camera from Unique Photo here in New Jersey, and I've been trying it out about a day. I'm going to probably have it tomorrow as well, and I'll probably do a second part, and that way you can kind of get a broad overview of what I'm thinking and what I like about it. But in a nutshell, I really like this camera. It's really built for that person who kind of maybe is the hybrid shooter of film and digital, because Fujifilm really likes to walk that line of film camera with digital settings. I feel like if I was to kind of categorize it, it would be film body, digital settings. And that's kind of what drew me to this camera, especially the X-Pro2, that has this rangefinder type body style, because I've never shot a rangefinder before, but I really love the ability to kind of have it nice and small, compact. It's mirrorless, it has those dials on the top, which I think are just so cool. And you know, it's just fun to experiment with, especially with the film simulations too, which are really fun. I'm shooting in the classic chrome film setting right now. I think it looks really good. I think it has these great color details, like the blues and the yellow and orangish colors that look really great, but it's not overwhelming, and the contrast is really great as well. The buttons on the top, to continue with the buttons on the top, I think those are just the coolest part about it, because it really brings me back to my film cameras that I have, especially my 35mm SLR cameras, because they also have dials too for shutter, for aperture on the lens, ISO, all that kind of stuff. Right now this is in auto across the board, but simply just changing something out of the A setting, it makes it the priority mode versus having a priority mode button on the top dial. There is no those priority modes. There's no shutter priority or aperture priority, but you don't even realize that you don't have it. It's one of those you just snap it right into. You know, if I want to change the aperture, you just change the aperture, or if you want to change the shutter or ISO, whatever, you just change it. Or if you don't want to worry about it, you can just throw them all in auto like I did for this video. Something else to keep in mind is, like I said, with the film simulations, even in black and white and stuff, when you're looking through the viewfinder, it's really a great way to kind of get a preview of what you're going to be shooting, and that way you know before you do it. And so I think it's even a step above a typical DSLR camera, because with those, obviously you're just looking through whatever the lens reflects into the mirror. But with this, because it's electronic, it's giving you a pretty close representation of what you're going to get. The slight difference might be if you have, like I said, the acros filter on it with the yellow setting, the yellow filter setting or red filter setting or something like that. It'll change slightly, but for the most part, especially for exposure, it'll be pretty much right on, and that way you can tell and adjust even before you take the picture. So overall, who's this camera for? Well, it's for people, like I mentioned earlier, who are looking to get a camera that feels like a film camera but shoots like a digital, and that they can switch and shoot video with and all that kind of stuff. People like myself, they are kind of this hybrid shooter. I think this is exactly the type of camera that we would need. And if anyone that just wants to try a rangefinder but doesn't want to invest in like a Leica or any of these other rangefinder cameras, I think this one's for you. It comes in around $1,800 for the body, and then about $300 or so for the lens, depending on what you want. This one's a 23mm, which is the 35mm equivalent. I'm really satisfied with this camera. I can't wait to keep shooting. Here's some examples of what I've shot so far.